I have challenged two of the best BMG speedrunners to battle it out on my very own map. So today Vulp and Haiku will take on this devious map with quite a bit of obstacles. For those who don't know, Vulp is one of the biggest record holders in the entire speedrunning community. He managed to find and implement new strategies, new ideas, and of course, new skips. With roughly 100 records to his name, he is still determined to get more. Haiku is very similar, holding a lot of records, and his off-road style of driving is unmatched. He probably can take every single record in the game, and only time investment and RNG really stops him. They both were not ready for my map.
Ice in the turns. Okay, what is gonna have good grip on ice?
In BMG, we don't have any troll maps, so I decided to make one. Runners will be facing every obstacle I could think of. Hidden road types, check. Exploding tires, absolutely. Their mission: survive the 2-minute chaos and set the fastest time possible. I should mention that both had only 1 hour to make their perfect run, so stakes were high. Sounds wild, right? Let's take a look at the battlefield. Welcome to 2025, the New Year troll map. It's a rollercoaster of terrible ideas, unpredictable terrain, zero friction zones, and no chance of surviving on your first try. Creating this monster was no easy feat. The track editor was both my best friend and worst enemy. The base path pretty simple and surprisingly fun to make. It's not flawless, but hey, I love it. The real chaos comes from the road types. There are tons of them, and I tested almost every single one. Honestly, it made me think, should I create a bobsled map like in Trackmania? But I digress. For this map, I settled on 8 terrain types, each with its own color. My plan: to tweak them further, hit a major roadblock. The map wouldn't save. Low error. Long story short, I had to dive into the map's code and fix everything manually. It was a nightmare, but worth it. Once the map was finally ready, it was time to create a preview, and the game crashed. Of course, turns out generating a preview crashes the game. Another lovely quirk of the track editor. So I decided to keep the default preview as an additional surprise for the runners. To make things even spicier, I threw in some random debris on the road. And just like that, the map was ready to be sent to the runners. So let's see how they dealt with all the madness of 2025. Oh, it's in code. Don't look at the code.
Oh, let me read this first.
The first part of the map was easy for Vulp and Haiku, and it was made using asphalt, false sense of security. Because next turn is made slippery. Literally this terrain type called slippery, and if you're going fast, well, that's a mistake. Both Vulp and Haiku was caught by surprise.
Oh, it's snow. Okay.
Next is a hill, frictionless hill. Yep, you understood correctly. No matter how much you try to accelerate or slow down, you can't on this unreal terrain type. You also can't turn, so if your original trajectory was wrong, well, you just launched yourself off the map. And then there are first of many obstacles of the course. Very slim roads. They do nothing except confuse. They are like 1 pixel wide.
What is that? What did I just pass through?
Next up, quite a long asphalt section. And again, false sense of security. From asphalt, you go into branches strong. The question is, what does it even mean? Probably wood tiles, maybe even wet wood. Quite slippery, and it destroyed some runs.
Deep snow again. Okay.
Dirt grass is up next, and as expected, it's very weird for any car, but manageable. I don't think it took any runs from the players, but overconfidence is a slow killer, and rings after destroyed some cars. Up next is cobblestone section, and as expected, weird sounds and nothing more. And you know what's gonna happen when it looks like everything is fine. Yep, ice. This is extremely precise turn on the ice. Most of the runs were destroyed here, and players hate me for it.
You bastard. You bastard, Molten.
I should mention that everything except frictionless can be easily beaten by just going slow. Next part is again frictionless zone, and yeah, as expected, some problems occurred. You need a lot of speed to cross it, and ice is the place where you need to gather that speed. After all of this, the most incredible interaction in the entire game: ice and no tires. Now, the reason tires blow up is another road type, bike strip, and after this, very slow path to the finish. If you move slowly, 2 minutes with some seconds is pretty much guaranteed. But what about speedrunners? Well, first runs from both Wulp and Haiku was a lost cause. First finish was done by Haiku only 3 minutes into the challenge, with almost 2 minutes flat. Wulp finished 5 minutes later, but his time was 16 seconds faster.
Oh, come on. Okay, so we got a 144.7 to start. We can do better. What caused my tires to deflate? I think for sure there might be a skip here as well.
Probably due to overall speed difference between generic FCV Vivace and custom speedrunning version of Scintilla. And after all of this, they start experimenting regular cars and different tunes. Most notable was 2 cars that Haiku tried: Big Wheel Vidra and Cannon. Funny that with all that grip and biggest wheels, Vidra couldn't move properly on the slippery start, and I unintentionally blocked the Cannon idea by using 2 frictionless hills, while it can only shoot once. And just in the middle of their time, both runners asked about Jato, cause it feels only natural to try and use rockets on the map like this, to maybe skip spikes and save precious seconds, especially at that slow ending. Roughly at 31 minutes Wulp started to use Jato, and at 37 Haiku did.
Jump over and keep going. Okay, so we can jump over the wheel popping part with this, but I'm wondering if like there isn't just a better way for me to just skip with this build.
Funny that with limited number of vehicles in the game, players chose to use different setups. D-Series was used by Wulp, while Haiku took a more well-known MD series. After some hits and misses, both players decided to stick with wildly different setups. Haiku decided that asphalt sections is long and nice to save a lot of time on the track while using his famous Scintilla tune, and Wulp doubled down on the Jato play to maybe score big at the end of the track.
For my best time, it was the Scintilla.
What kind of tune did you use? Was it like an off-road tune?
I used the speedrun asphalt tune.
The meta.
Yeah, I figured it would make up the time on the places I do have grip.
I started out using that. I used that for like my first half an hour, I think.
Yeah.
I ended up using the D series with the Jato and an engine, so basically a rocket car.
That's interesting. I went with the MD series, had Jato, but it just ended up being slower.
Yeah, the D series has better handling, and the thing that's really nice about the rocket is that it doesn't care that you don't have much traction. So like on those ice sections, you can accelerate really quickly with it.
Yeah.
And after some trials and fails, Haiku managed to pull off one of the coolest runs. His slippery turn was done very clean, with small bump to stop and redirect car. Every single turn was done almost perfectly, and he even managed to save one wheel after the spike. After a wicked 180 maneuver, he finished with 1 minute and 36.749 seconds. Without that 180, it could have been sub 130. Unreal time if you ask me. But did Wulp's gambit worked? Well, after a lot of fails, he managed to pull off skip that I wasn't even aware of. You see, while I did keep 2 additional tiles of asphalt so people could understand the blunder they got themselves into, Wulp used this place to gather speed with rocket boosters. This truly unique strategy really paid off. Also, rocket boosters is just unreally powerful. even though Scintilla had every single advantage. In the pocket, both Rocket Truck and best speedrunning car was on the hill almost at the same time. And then the actual madness. Wulp lined up his car and jumped. Almost missing his target, it was counted and he finished. 1 minute 11.824 seconds. Whole 25 seconds faster than Haiku. Now you can clearly see who won this one. It was Haiku. Just look at this cool 180!